Today, I'll show you the best of the Mobile World Congress this year. It was such a blast, filled with holograms, satellites, AR, virtual reality, flying cars, and so much more. Hi, I'm Martin, and I develop mobile apps and AI tools. I spent the last 4 days walking across the 9 halls of the Mobile World Congress to select for you the best presentations out there. Tickets for the Mobile World Congress usually start at 900 euros, but I got mine for free. Yes, for free. And if you want to know how you can get yours for free too, make sure you stay until the end of the video. I think it's just worth mentioning the amount of energy and creativity Huawei has put into creating the absolute biggest booth at the event. It had buildings inside the building, it has even a small square, or you may say plaza. So this booth was just for people to talk about how big Huawei is and how big of a booth they can make. There was a lot of meeting rooms, a lot of showcasing projects, 5G, AI, all of that stuff. So next, robots at the Mobile World Congress. There were some interesting small robots, like the one that prevents itself from falling by putting its hands backwards, presented by ST Microelectronics. I have to say that it worked only on the third time, really, but then it actually kept on working well. It is a pretty cool way to showcase how robots can react in such a short period of time to realize they're falling and they could put their hands backwards. Another interesting robot was the one that picks up apples and puts them in the basket. It was just a robotic arm, and it worked well the first time. It didn't work the second time because its thumb was preventing its camera on putting the apples, but in general, it was pretty cool as well. Showcasing live demos, it's always hard, and I get it. And I think one of the best robots out there was the friendly one that was shaking hands with people, it was rotating its torso around. Like, it was pretty weird, that part. I think this is like one of the really cool examples of how robots could be like very easy and approachable. Vehicles at the Mobile World Congress. I grouped up different vehicles altogether because we saw the Oracle Cybertruck, or that's kind of a copy of the Tesla Cybertruck, but made by Oracle, which, I don't know, it kind of doesn't make sense, right? But yeah, besides that really bizarre car, we had a lot of sports car, but the one that really stood out for me was the Xiaomi car. Besides that, it's really cool color and amazing design. It just showcased that Xiaomi wants to have everything around your lifestyle to be surrounded by Xiaomi products. So even from your vacuum cleaner to your smart TV, your phone, and even your car in the garage. Pretty good job in terms of like bringing an environment of products around you. Definitely one of the coolest vehicles at the Mobile World Congress was the flying car, which actually is not a car. I would rather call it a helicopter because technically it doesn't have wheels, but it looks like a drone with all these propellers. Literally, it's just a helicopter, essentially. And it is absolutely amazing. I could not sit inside, but just seeing it live, it's like actually pretty big, a bit bigger than a normal car, and it has 2 passengers. But yeah, looking forward to see when this hits the street. AI at the Mobile World Congress. Of course, there were so many companies that were talking about AI at their booths, but I think 2 that really stood out was the AI data center, which was essentially, these were screens, but they were presenting what a real data center looks like in terms of computing power, like all of these walls, data of machines actually computing data for AI. Like, this is just a representation, a real representation of what AI data center looks like. I think that was pretty sick. The other one that I quite liked in terms of presentation was the AI immersive experience, which you would see this amazing huge screen with an AI avatar. There were many companies presenting AI avatars that you can interact with, but this one had also gestures. You can say hello and it would wave back. You can say okay, and then it will open the next menu. And you can even just switch languages. So for example, I asked it to speak in Spanish, and it started speaking in Spanish, but then it just switched and it was speaking in English with a Spanish accent. Look at that.
Can we speak Spanish?
Claro. ¿Cómo puedo ayudarte hoy, Martín?
Pero verán, ¿puedes explicarme qué puedes hacer?
Welcome to the iFlight booth. I am your guide, and I am so excited to have you here.
Virtual reality at the Mobile World Congress. Now, there were plenty of booths showcasing virtual reality, but I think to me, 3 stood out really well. So one is what I wouldn't call exactly virtual reality experience. It's kind of a mixed reality experience, the Vueling. So essentially you could navigate with your arms spread out, flying across cities, coming to the last city, which is your destination of Vueling. Vueling is a flight company. It's an airplane company in Spain. So by scanning your fingerprint, measuring your pulse, they would deduce what type of person you are and where you should be flying to. Yeah, I don't trust that really much, but the whole experience around like being able to fly with your arms wide open across, that was pretty nice, with a lot of cameras tracking you. So shout out to them. I would say also the VR Village. This is just a small town that people could walk around with their virtual reality headsets and just look at the town and interact with it. I could not film the experience from within, but you could see how it looks like with the people around walking around the table, basically. And I think another pretty cool one was virtual reality helmets for games with existing consoles. And it was not these heavy, bulky virtual reality headsets that you're used to see. They're just like pretty standard glasses that activate once you put them on. So actually, when I was trying to film from nearby, it wouldn't start because they turn on as soon as you put the glasses on, and you see a 50-inch screen in front of you where you could play your regular games because it connects to your PlayStation and to your Nintendo Switch, for example. SolarGaps. Well, this one is a small startup that was presenting at the Mobile World Congress, but I think it was very interesting because they are building solar panels on blinders. So essentially, if you're in the market for blinders, you can get one that are with solar panels on them. Why not? I think that's a great idea. So it's a small startup. Their booth was not huge, nothing amazing, but I think their idea of a project is absolutely great. Samsung had amazing stands at the Mobile World Congress. So they had two different stands. One was for Samsung electronics, so all the mobile phones and everything, just amazing design. They had another stand which was for Samsung displays. It was a whole museum, it was a whole exhibition art that you would walk around different sections, and on one of them you would see that amazing laptop whose screen is just rolling up and is expanding and is extending. And then you just click of a button like this, it would shrink back to a normal form that you can fold and pick up with you. I talked with Samsung representatives. They said that this is not on the market yet, but it will be soon, and I can't wait to try it. As well, on the Samsung display stand, we got to see the device that tests the folding of the foldable phones with all the counter of all the folds that it made for that device already. And of course, very interesting new technology in the foldable displays that allows to remove that crease in the middle of the foldable devices. So I think that's pretty cool. And while we are on displays, I also want to shout out to Lenovo because they presented some amazing dual display laptops, which allows for your laptop to have a screen at the back as well while you're presenting. We're also having a keyboard, not like the old Lenovo Yoga ones. I would guess that's like good if you're in a meeting with somebody and you want to show them something on the screen when they sit in front on the other side and can't just sit next to you. And the other device that Lenovo showcased was the one with the triple display setup, which allows you to put two monitors around your main monitor of your laptop. So for people that travel like me, I absolutely love it. Some honorable mentions at the Mobile World Congress. I would say some companies that were there, but you would not probably have noticed, but they're worth mentioning. So one of them is that company that makes these tiny satellites. Can you imagine that's a satellite going around the planet with 10,000 kilometers an hour? And it is connecting to IoT-enabled devices with LoRaWAN, which is like low energy protocol for smart devices. Essentially being able to connect to a satellite instead of your local network tower for that would allow for devices being anywhere on the planet to connect. And with just such a tiny satellite, absolutely amazing. I would say as well, this company that was presenting water resistant phones, actually there were two companies doing that same demo of just dropping phones in the water, showcasing how water resistant they are. Another great company that was on the Mobile World Congress was Apptimist Studio. They built mobile apps and AI tools. And if you have some great idea about a new tool or new app that you want to build, you should definitely contact them. It just happens so that I'm the CEO of that company. So go figure. One of the great companies that I saw there, which really don't get to be mentioned a lot, it's called Spendbase. Spendbase is a company that allows you to save money by reviewing your current subscriptions to Monday, to Notion, to AWS even, and Google Cloud. And it's gonna save you money on reviewing your current subscription models. It's gonna charge you only after it has saved you money. I think that's amazing. I think every company should be using it. It's so good that we are signing up a partnership, and so You can subscribe on the link below if you want to learn more information about it and how it can help your company save money. It would cost you nothing. It would just cost you a percentage after you've saved the money. And I think one of the best things that I saw at Mobile World Congress were holograms. There were so many companies showing different types of holograms. So many stands had these kind of spinning ventilators that were building a hologram image out of it. I wouldn't call this exactly a hologram because it was just a visual effect. And for sure, it looked nicer on real life than it was on the camera. But it kind of reminds me of Beatsy, which is like a small device that my nephew showed me the other day. It's just kind of like a toy. It was not so amazing. But I think a really cool one was the LG, which builds an entire storytelling. And it's different parts of the room were lighting up while they're telling the story with different characters. So this one I found significantly better in terms of execution and style. But absolute favorite was Holoconnects, which allows you to build your own hologram by recording yourself on a video or doing it even live and putting yourself in your physical box, which could be like this size or even a full size. And you could be communicating with people across the planet in a full-size, really super, hyper, mega realistic visualization of yourself. So implications for this, for example, different use cases would be football players that want to connect with fan base across the planet, and as well doctors that need to examine patients that are somewhere far. Probably part of the examination can happen only like this, but I think that could be really interesting for customer service support and just so many different applications. I can't wait to see it out there in the real world in a couple of years. So as I mentioned, the Mobile World Congress tickets are 900 euros, starting from 900 euros. And I got mine for free. Why? Because I live in Spain and I got enough contacts that will allow me to get some free tickets and I can pass them along. So if you're interested into getting free ticket for the Mobile World Congress next year, make sure to follow and subscribe and connect with me on LinkedIn, where I will be sharing free coupons for next year a couple of weeks before the event, so probably around January, February next year. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe and to follow and share it with a friend who may be interested in all of that or that may want to go to the Mobile World Congress next year for free. All right, that's all from me. Talk to you soon. Bye.